Right, well, good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to Westcliff Koi Pond. Right, just an update on my second procedure. As you can see, I'm still here, so it went quite well. But this one really is. I got a comment from Diane Brandon. I just see it come up on the comment. I pressed the comment to answer you, Diane, and I lost it. So really, this video is dedicated to you, because you asked the question, was it due to smoking? And yes, it was due to smoking. I know I've said this before. I'm sure I've done a video on it before and told everybody before what it was all about. But I started smoking at a very, very, very early age. I actually gave up smoking when I was 8 years of age. Yeah, 8. I started smoking when I was 5 years old. And that was all down to my elder brother. Sadly, he's no longer with us. He died of cancer. Well, it's not fun. No, it's not funny, but it's, you know what I mean? I always used to G him up and say, that's your bleeding fault, I've got this, or whatever it was. Yeah, it ain't my fault, he said. But what he used to do, he had my dinner money. So when we went to school, he was supposed to taking me to school and paid for my dinner money. But instead of that, he didn't. We went down to the local sweet shop, and he bought, at the time, it was 5 weights. Weights, yeah, untipped. They didn't have tips on them. 5 weights in a, like, it wasn't even a crush-proof packet. It was like a little flip-up lid on it, you know. And we used to go over the local park, over to Victoria Park down the East End, and we used to sit over there all day smoking. I know 5 weights wouldn't get you far, but obviously he nicked my dinner money to buy cigarettes, and his own dinner money, I suppose, might have got 10 weights. So we sat over there all day smoking. So at the age of 5, I developed pleurisy, and I was referred to the London Chest Hospital that was just ran by Victoria Park. I think it was based in Victoria Park, actually, London Chest. And obviously they'd done all the x-rays, whatever else, and then when we went back to see the doctor, he said to me, Mum, he's been smoking. They couldn't see my left lung. So obviously they gave me a course of exercising and running around with the physiotherapist and everything else, trying to clear me lungs. And then from there, I was referred on to the School for Sick Children in Mile End Road, called Phoenix. And believe it or not, it's still there. It was an open air school. There was no education at all. All they learnt you to do was tell the time. So I'm quite good at telling the time. Education-wise, I've got nothing. I'm dyslexic. I would say I'm dyslexic. I can read all right, but the handwriting and spelling is absolutely atrocious. My grandchildren are better than me, to be quite honest. So I was there till I started secondary school. What the age was there? Secondary school, 12, 30. So I went back to as soon as I started secondary school, I started smoking again. And I've smoked right up to 12, 13 years ago. So I did stop. And the only way I stopped was through vaping, believe it or not. My wife Doreen see a little supplement in a paper. It was another research thing. They would supply the vape, and I think he started off in like 18% nicotine, and then over the months you gradually reduced it down and down and down. And I got to the stage where I was down to about, it was 0% nicotine. And I was sitting sucking this thing, and my daughter said, Dad, what percentage is that? I said, well 0%. She said, well, why don't you suck a stick? So, exactly. I got rid of the vape, and that's it. I've not smoked or vaped for 12, 13 years. Might be 14 years. But developed COPD 5 years ago, and it's gradually got worse. I've always said it never really interfered with me that much. If I did have a turnout when it really got bad, I used to take the antibiotics and steroids, and within a week it cleared it up. So as I say, 7 days of antibiotics and steroids, it was clear. We've completely isolated ourselves through COVID. In fact, the pond, we built or dug out, me and Doreen dug that out, that was in lockdown 1. Obviously, we couldn't go anywhere. So we started digging. And we never stopped. So we had great fun digging with that. I think 4 skips later, that's the result of it. Never see the kids, never see anybody, right through lockdown. Not like the government, who used to go out and have parties every night. So, in the this February, we went to a funeral, a close member of the family funeral, yeah, get your teeth in, funeral, and I think there was about 30 people there at the funeral, and 13 of us got COVID, including me and Doreen. Well, since COVID, I didn't have 1 rescue pack, I didn't have 2. I ended up having 8 rescue packs. The doctors, nurses would go, no, you couldn't have had 8 rescue packs. Well, I did. And no one was taking any notice of it. In the end, the doctors or the GPs went, whoa, you can't keep taking steroids and antibiotics. And obviously they called me in and whatever else. But then again, I had a really bad night one night. I got up and I just could not breathe. I was just totally locked. And if anybody out there's got COPD, they know what I'm talking about and just how bad it can be. And I was really bad. And so we phoned ambulance came, took me away. They gave me antibiotics. And they injected penicillin into my arm. And that's it. I went into an anaphylactic shock and I died, basically. That was on the 3rd of May. So that took them half hour, 40 minutes to get me back round. They took the wife into a side room, told her that I've gone, told her to phone the children. So my 2 daughters had to rush up from London. They thought I was dead. But thankfully they got me back. So, I was admitted to hospital overnight, obviously. And I think the consultant there, or doctor, or whatever they were, said that they would make an appointment for me in June. Or they said, if you've not heard from us by June, give us a phone call and we'll see what we can do. So Doreen phoned them in June, and they said, well, we can't give you an appointment. You're looking at 52 weeks. So I thought, well, I can't live like this. I can't. I felt suicidal, to be quite honest. And there was no way I could sit for 52 weeks, sitting on the edge of the settee, wondering whether I'm going to sit there crying all night. I couldn't lay down. As soon as I laid down in bed, it was horrendous. So I hadn't been to bed since February, really. I'd go to bed and then sit up and get up half hour later, and I'd just sit on the settee coughing my guts up all night. And just could not move the stuff off my chest. Just couldn't get it off my chest. It was just cough, just continuously coughing, and could not get it up off my chest. I had physios round telling me to do the huffing and, well, I'll tell you what, I nearly huffed him, I'll tell you, to be quite honest, because he was getting on my tits. Sorry about the language. So when they said it was 52 weeks waiting to get on to see a doctor, well, it wasn't even going to see a doctor, it was going to be a telephone conversation. And you had to wait 52 weeks for that. And Doreen's always strolling through the whatever else, looking at COPD cures and remedies. And she came across this, which was being run by the Royal Brompton. And to start with, you had to go down to the clinic in, I think it was number 1 Welbeck. I think it's just round the corner from Harley Street, so obviously it's a private clinic. So we said, well, we've got to do it. So went down to see the doctor there, Dr. Christopher Alton. Had a chat with him. He said, well, what we do, he said, there is, because all the NHS was saying to me, there is no more we can do. You're on the maximum amount of drugs. There is nothing else we can do for you. There is nothing. So you just sit there and die, basically. You're just going to get worse. As time goes on, you're going to get worse and worse and worse, and then you end up dying. So I say he had a chat with us and told us what other things they can do. He said there is things we can do because there's more we can do. So what he done was he took us through to accounts. Yeah, accounts. So we sat there and had a chat with a guy from accounts. And he said what we do. He said we do blood tests. We do a lung scan. And then they put you on a breathing machine or whatever it is, and I can't remember the name of it. But there was 4 or 5 different tests they were going to do. This was on the Thursday. He said, okay, so we'll get that sorted, he said, and we'll do that for Monday. I went, whoa. I said, are we talking about, can you tell us some figures, what we're talking about here? So I think the blood tests were like 450 quid. The lung scan was 750, and it just snowballed on from there. So it topped up about 2.5 grand. So what option did I have? You say no, come home and sit in the corner and be as bad as that again, where I'm sitting there crying because I can't breathe. I'm thinking about putting a rope round my neck and jumping off a bloody tree, hanging yourself. So yeah, we went ahead with it. So we went back the following week, had all the tests done. Then we went to see Dr. Alton, and he said, really, your figures are not that bad, he went. So next time you're sitting there thinking about putting a rope round your neck, he went, I'm telling you, the figures, your breathing figures, are not too bad at all. So don't start topping yourself. So we had a chat with him, and he'd then sort of come up with the baseline figures of how much it was going to cost to sort my lungs out, or attempt to sort them out. And it came up to £12,500 per lung. Whoa, 25 grand per lung. Sorry, 25 grand for the pair of lungs. That's how we went. He went, well. He said, what I can do, he said, we're actually running a trials down at the Royal Brompton. He said, would you like me to see if we can put you on a trial? He said, I understand money could be a bit tight. He said, so would you like me to see if we can put you on a trial? Yes, please, that'd be great. So we left it at that for a moment, and came away and thought, well, what, all right, 25 grand, but if the worst comes to the worst, could we afford the 25 grand? I suppose, yeah, I don't know, I could put I don't know, I could do something with a mortgage, put extra money on the mortgage. I guess I could raise 25 grand to have it done. If I had to have it done, I would. But I think the doors were over in June or whatever. It was a Sunday afternoon. And the Royal Brompton phoned me on a Sunday afternoon and said that they'd like to see me, to come in and see me about the trials. I've been accepted on the trial. So, wow, couldn't believe it. So, went down to the Royal Brompton, whenever that was, can't remember when it was. Went down to the Royal Brompton. They done all the tests there again. When all the tests what I paid £2,500 for, I had to do all the tests again. This time I didn't have to pay for that. And then they said, yes, well, you've been accepted for the trial. I couldn't believe it. So I say the 1st of November, I had the first test, the left lung done. So I said we was picked up from here, from home, by taxi, taken down to the Royal Brompton. I had to have a cough monitor fitted. They just put tubes up your nose, down to like a man bag around your waist, and you had to have that on for 24 hours. From there, another taxi was back to the Millennium Hotel. The next morning I was picked up again and taken back to the Royal Brompton to have the tubes taken out, or the cough monitor taken off. A taxi again back to the Millennium Hotel, where we stayed again the night. Then 7:30 on the Wednesday morning, I was picked up again, taken back this time to the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, where they actually done the first procedure. That was on the 1st of November. Now, since that first procedure, I've not been up one night sitting on settee struggling to breathe. I've spent every night in bed. If I've got up during the night, it's mainly been through like a tickly, not where you're congested and you can't breathe. Like I said, I feel like I've been breathing down to me boots. It's unbelievable. I said the oxygen, it still feels so cold when you breathe in. It's unreal. I never knew I could breathe so deep. So, had that one done. That was finished. I had that on the Wednesday, so that was the 1st of November. The doctor there said, I'll phone you next week to see how you feel. And if you feel okay, she said, we'll then arrange for the next procedure to get done. And sure enough, she phoned on the next week. I was fine. Booked me in for last week, which was the 6th of December. Again, picked up from home, straight down to the hotel, the Millennium Hotel again. This time we was picked up at 7:30 in the morning, taken straight to the Chelsea and Westminster. We checked in at reception at 8 o'clock, Chelsea and Westminster. 8:10 they called me in. They just gave me a bag of clothing, like operating procedures, gowns and everything. So as I was getting changed, someone banged on the door, they've come in. I've got one nurse or doctor taking blood pressure. I've got another one taking bloods from one side. I've got another doctor asking me all the questions, like, and telling me what they were going to do, and then I had to sign a consent form. But I had 3 doctors round me all at once, doing all different things, whatever they was doing. Well, by the time he was finished getting the consent form done and telling me everything else what was happening, by the time he was done doing that, they was open. They said, right, ready. I was in surgery by 9 o'clock. But it was just unbelievable. Now, I remember waking up at 10 o'clock. I was just coming round and I looked. I could see the clock. It was 10 o'clock. And I thought, what's unbelievable. I was nowhere better. The first op, I was really coughing. I just couldn't clear my chest when I was coming round, This time was a lot, ever so much better. So, obviously I've come home. So once you come round, I think, so we come out of surgery at 10. Come round in recovery, took me into recovery unit and then the discharge unit. Tea and biscuits. I was in the taxi on the way home at 1 o'clock. So I got back home here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Admittedly, I've slept for 3 days. Everyone keeps saying it's the anaesthetic in you and you need to get it out of your system and everything, but I think, yesterday I slept all day. So this is me first day of being awake. So that's happy days. Breathing obviously is so much better. I just hope that I've had the real operation and not the sham. If I've had the sham, I don't know what they've done anyway. But although they do say what they can do, they go down and they can flush the lungs. Yeah, if they can flush any mucus they see down there, they can flush the lungs out and then suck it all out. I say, but what the procedure is where they go down with a camera, any diseased part of the lung, they can zap it with liquid nitrogen at minus 196. And then they'll suck all the crap out. Plus also they're looking for cancers. If there is a cancer, then they won't do any procedure. And they'll just come back and say, sorry, like you've got cancer, it can't be done. Now, evidently, this is the only clinic in Europe that actually does this procedure. There's a hell of a lot of stuff on there. Doreen's still going on there now. And there's so much literature on this. It's called Rejuvenair. So if anyone wants to have a look at Rejuvenair, it's consulted by consultant. It's Professor Shah. And it's quite a lot. It's interesting reading, really, about people that have it done. And just got to hope that it stays like this. Please God, it does. One other thing I've got to say is there, at the hospital, all the staff there's not one person who walks past you while you're there and don't talk to you and acknowledge you and say, is you all right? Everything all right? And the other thing is, this recently, what the government has said about people who are coming to this country, legal migrants, not the ones what are coming over on boats, legal migrants, they've got to earn 38 grand a year. If they don't earn 38 grand a year, then they can't bring their relatives and dependents over. Now, while I was there, I can promise you there was not one white person there. Not one. Everyone was either black, brown, green, purple, whatever, but there was not one white person there doing that job. Everyone there was respectful. Everyone spoke to me. Everyone asked how I was. Everybody, so attentive. Now, when you've had this procedure done, they have to make sure that you've not had a pneumothorax. So they have to take you downstairs and you have an X-ray to see if there's any problems with the lung, make sure they've not punctured a lung or anything like that. And there was a guy who took me down, and a nurse, or two nurses took me down for the X-ray. And while they were standing at the lift talking to one another, so talking about, he said, I'm not staying here. He said, after this, what the government has just said, he can't bring his dependents over. They're going to New Zealand. Him and his partner are going to New Zealand. He said, because what's the point of coming here? If I can't come here and bring my dependents, there's no point in coming to the UK. So him and his partner are going to New Zealand. Well, what's going to happen when all of them decide it's not worth coming here anymore and they all bugger off to New Zealand? Because the other nurse said to him, well, you could go to America. He went, no. He said, I'm not going to America, he said. He went, I don't want to get shot. He said, it's all that bang, 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 bang. He said, I'm not going to get shot. He went, go to New Zealand. She said, then do you need any exams to sit? No, he said, no exams. He went, because he's worked in the UK, he gets a free passage straight to New Zealand. So, thanks to the government, I mean, our health service is in enough crap as it is, isn't it? So, I think if it carries on like that and they don't do something else, the health service is gone. It's not a lot better now. Did you see that on TV this morning? Where they're all queuing up down the corridors. They've got no beds. Got nothing. What a terrible state of affairs. So I say, really, this video, I've done this video for Diane Brendan. So Diane, if you watch this video, you catch it. I've not seen you comment on any of my other video channel, on any other of my videos. But if you catch this one up, will you please drop a comment again, please, and I shall try to answer you. I'll say I did see your comment pop up yesterday. I clicked on the comments, and it disappeared. I don't know what I've done. I'm not very good with technology, but obviously I've pressed the wrong button, and either deleted you or sent you somewhere else. So you might be floating around in space somewhere on the cloud. So I'm sorry about this one, guys. It's nearly coming up 28 minutes, but worth waiting for. I will keep you informed of anything else, what goes on. And obviously, because I'm on this trial, as I said, if anything else comes up, any other medications, anything, other trial they can do, because I'm on the trial, then I'll be one of the first ones to be offered anything else. So I'm under the wing of the Royal Brompton and Chelsea and Westminster Hospital now for 2 years. So every 3 months I'll go up there, do whatever tests they're going to do with me, answer any questionnaires I have to fill the diary out. Every night, 6 o'clock, I've got a little phone here. Well, it looks like a mobile phone, but it isn't. It's just a handheld device. And the alarm goes off on that at 6 o'clock every night. And I have to fill that in before midnight. And then you will fill it in, because if you don't, then the alarm goes off every 30 minutes. Beep boop. So all I can do is keep my fingers crossed, and hope everything continues like this. But I say, since Wednesday night, I've had every night been good in bed. Everything has been very good. So I've not had to get up through the night, apart from a little tickly cough. Just there. And sometimes you get a wheezing, wee. I feel I can't sleep like this. So what I do normally, I just get up, I make myself a cup of tea, I'll sit out on the lounge and have a couple of sucks on just me blue puffer, just have a couple of sucks on that blue puffer, half hour, it's gone. I'll go back to bed again. The only thing is getting up 3 or 4 times a night peeing. And I think that's half the problem as well. When you're getting up 3 or 4 times a night, that's interrupted sleep, and I think that's another reason why I'm sleeping all day long, because I've had interrupted sleep. But I've had tests for that. I've had my prostate checked, physically, manually. Ooh. And all I can say is anybody who needs a prostate check, go and have it done. For 10 seconds of discomfort, it's worth a bit having peace of mind to be told that there's nothing sinister there. So it's worth having it done. And he said, but to be sure, he said, we'll send you up for a blood test. So I've got a blood test on the 13th, and then I'm going to book a double appointment with that GP again and have a chat with him. So all being well, I shall keep you informed. So I've covered everything. I've covered the top, middle and bottom of my body. So look after yourself, guys. Try to keep warm. The wind here today is absolutely whistling. It's getting worse, I think, as the night's going on. It's something like 50, 60 mile an hour winds. So that's me done. So anyway, all the best, guys, and I shall see you on the next one with a further update. I say nothing to talk about fish. It's all about my body. Anyway, all the best, guys, and see you on the next one.